black and the yellow, and I'm going to use purple. So this is the flood. This is the, in this size cup, I put about that much. There's no science to this. The way you tell if it's too much flood is if the color isn't the same as what it is in here. So I'm going to pour. It does have little thick pieces in there that you might have to watch later on the canvas to take some tweezers to pull it out. And then this is the part that takes the most time. You have to stir it in until it comes back to this color.
It's Donna. Yeah, Glory. Hi, girl. Who's down here? Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hi.
Katie.
Katie. Katie.
Hi, Ralph.
Hi there.
Yeah. Got one. How many we have? 7 people? Okay.
Yes. A good group.
Hmm?
Okay, so Beverly's mixing up the paint.
I've seen that, yes.
So we're going to do the same 2 that we did before, and maybe another one to show you different, so you'll have different choices. First one we're going to do is a dirty pour. So this is the same color as this, so I don't think I need to add any more of the purple paint to it. It looks like it's been mixed up pretty good. So you see how liquid it is there?
Pretty fluid.
So what we'll do is take an empty cup, and on this particular one, I'm going to start with black. That's my phone. Time to drink water. And I'm going to pour the purple in next. Then I'll pour some yellow. And then we'll do another layer. Oh, I forgot. I was going to put some silicone in the purple, so it's not too late. And you don't stir it a whole lot because you want the larger, depending on what you want, of course, but you want the larger cells.
That's also known as coconut milk.
Yes, thank you.
But you didn't put any in the other colors.
No, it's a choice. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. But lately I've just wanted more of a one color kind of a design. So you've got the cup full. We've got the little pins on the bottom, and that's so it stays off of the counter, and you can get under it and hold on to them, and it's easier to do the art. But you turn it over like this and then go like this, and you let it kind of flow down a little bit. I'm going to bring it over here, and you kind of let it flow down as much as possible. And then you hold it up so that it's on a little bit of a incline, and then you tip the cup. Let it drain. This part down at the bottom will probably end up going off. And then this is where you start flowing it. I see I've got a little clump in there. you kind of watch the design. I don't know if you can see what's going on there. This is a little paint catcher that I use to keep the paint on.
Gloria.
And you see the little round cells are starting to create. It is messy.
But you had only put the silicone in the purple or lilac. Isn't that not true?
Exactly, but they were, the three of them were mixed together. So the silicone is going to go in with it. That's why I usually just use one of them, so that way there's not a whole lot. You can, I'll just hold this up real quick, and you'll see on the top where it's kind of starting. The cells are starting to happen.
Yep.
So at this point, you just look at it, and if you like it, you stop. It's getting close to something I might like. The purple is starting to come out at the top, but I don't want all that purple to leave over on that edge.
Cool.
Now, once you get it to the point that you like it, it's going to change a little bit. So I'm going to leave this at this because I kind of like it, and we'll let it sit. You can also use a hair dryer on it to kind of get the bubbles out. I need to wash my hands here.
Well, folks, one question I asked Beverly before most of you were on was about the paint. I've got a lot of heavy body acrylic paint and not so much in the way of pouring paint. And so I asked if we could use the heavy body paint with some flood and make up these pouring colors. And she said, yes, just mix it with the right, so it has the right consistency when you try to pour it out.
And I'll show you here for a second with the hair dryer. If I could plug it in here. Well, maybe if I... So you want to make sure you keep it on a low, unless if you're going to try and blow it off. I've got it all over the cabinet before. But you hold it up high, and you can tell when it starts moving around. Already the purple has really started to come out on it. You can see how much more purple is up at the top there. I can't hold it up very long because it's still very wet. And
So what does the hairdryer do?
If there's bubbles in the paint, it'll help blow the bubbles out, or you could use it to put a circle of paint in the middle, different layers. If you want to pour them individually, and then you could use the force on the hair dryer to fan it out. I try not to do that too much because it sprays paint everywhere, and this is inside my house. So we'll take a look at this other one in a few minutes. We'll do another one. These are things you'll be doing often, keeping your hands clean.
Does anybody have any questions for Beverly before she starts the next pour?
I have a question. Can you mix the different color of paint beforehand?
Yes, different colors than what I have, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Can
you can
you-
mix any colors you want.
Oh, you can mix
Yeah.
them first and then you can pour.
And then you pour with them, like I did. I pre-mixed this one and the black one because it's time consuming. So that way and then I mixed this one to show you what it was like as I was mixing it. So the next
No,
one,
I mean, my question is like, can you mix the blue and the yellow together before you pour? You
you
create
can,
a
but
new
that will
color.
make a different color. That will make a different color.
Yeah, yeah.
if
So
you
it's
do-
okay to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to make a different color, you can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like pre-making your color. I don't know how to pick colors the way you guys do, so I buy them already pre-done for me.
Okay. Okay.
So this next one is a dustpan form. And I'm going to start with the purple. You just pour it in the dustpan.
And that already has some silicone in it?
Yes, the purple one does. Uh-huh. And then another thing you can do, which will give a different design, is I already have it pre-mixed in here, and you can shoot it into the paint. And then you'll see a different design come up. You'll see what's going to happen. Like again, you hold it up a little bit. You let the paint come down. And then you just draw. Draw it down. And it gives a different look. And we should be getting cells on these also. And then you do the same thing. This is what, but you keep an eye on the design.
Interesting.
I want to keep that yellow. Maybe. Now, in something like this, you've got a lot of negative space, so you can add stuff in there. You could paint something. you know, depending the colors, you could do them greens and browns and things like that, and maybe paint a tree or, and you see the cells are starting to come up. And another thing you can do, if it doesn't come all the way over, you've got paint down here where you can kind of touch it like that. And the same over here to fill in.
So nothing goes to waste.
Nothing goes to waste. And also what we can do is sometimes after I'm done, you'll see there's going to be quite a bit of paint down here. I scrape it all together and put it in an old ice cream container. And then you have a totally different color.
I guess so.
Some of them look like mud, so it's not really the best, but I'll just make this black.
But how long can the paint last if it's out of the container?
I'm not sure, but you know, I do it often, so it usually never lasts more than a week.
Oh, okay. So you want to dry up?
So you see, the black paint is probably close to a week. So you see that, I don't know if you can see the divots in it from the acrylic or from the coconut oil. That one's clean my hands. Is there any questions?
Yeah, this is Katie. Beverly, I must have missed. Which one did you put the coconut oil in? Which color?
I put it in the purple one.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like the bubbles appear in different parts of the
It
painting.
does.
They don't appear in the purple only. They appear other places too.
Exactly. It because it mixes when you put them together like that. So
Cool.
excuse my bag. So I've put a little map here on the canvas. I'm going to show you another one that you've got all this paint down here, and you really don't want it to go to waste, and you still have some paint left over. So clean my hands again. What did I do? So what I'm going to do on this next one is I'm going to take the paint and pour it down here.
Jackson Pollock.
Already done that, Beverly. Sorry to tell you.
Yeah. She has to throw herself in the painting and
Roll it around.
Some paint from your tabletop. Love this.
Actually, sometimes it really gives a very interesting effect.
So that's just paint on your plastic surface, right?
Correct.
There's
Uh-huh.
there's nothing underneath the plastic. I mean, on top of the plastic.
Ah,
It gives a pretty nice effect.
this is cool. Ralph, we're going to come to your house and use your kitchen counters.
Sure, feel free. You just have to fight Sue for it.
Come on, Donna, let's go. And Glory.
Okay, now I want to show you, in case if you've made a pour on something and you don't like it, or you make a mistake like me, putting them together and it pulls the paint off. So I'm going to go over this with this paint. Make sure the So all you do is you take it and you put it down. Let's see. got to get the credit card. Usually I use a credit card. Here's one here. And you just kind of push on it because you want to make sure that it covers the hole. Then you grab the little feet.
Ooh,
Whoa.
nice.
Cool.
And then you do the sides like this. So I saw this one done one time and I really like it. It sometimes shows a flower. You just you
Sky.
never know. Yep, it's covered all the other color.
So is your table covered by glass?
Pardon me?
Is your table covered by glass?
No, it's got plastic on it.
Oh, plastic.
Yeah, there's plastic on this. So I think that might be enough that maybe I can try a larger one.
Gosh.
Give you an idea of,
And,
Beverly,
and
do you-
Beverly, you buy your canvases in bulk, do you not?
right,
What kind of good price can you recommend for sizes you use?
Well, these are the very inexpensive ones. I think there's 7 of them for $10 if you get them on sale. I usually get everything at Michael's.
Right. Have you tried their pickup service yet
No.
during the pandemic?
No, I have plenty of stuff. I don't know how many more canvases I can stock in the house.
We can buy from you then,
So
Beverly.
there you go.
Woo! Came out good.
I'm doing this today. This looks like a blast.
Oh, it really is, you know, and none of them are the same, which is very rewarding to me anyway.
Get Bruce to help, Katie.
Yeah, he'll love it.
I mean, it's almost like an instant gratification.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
After,
that could be a very nice floral.
yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have a question. So after a painting is dried, you can still pour more on top of it.
Sure.
Yeah, you
On
could.
top.
This small one I did, it was already painted on.
Uh-huh.
I just put paint over the top of it. Or you can paint something else. I have other things I'm going to show you that I do with them. I don't just leave them like this. Some of them I do if I like them. I just leave them. But I'm a photographer first. So I've added, I guess I can take my gloves off now.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you could write things on there. You could really do some really nice, very nice
Oh,
pictures.
right with
Photo
the
painting.
What I've done here is, hopefully you'll be able to see this. This is a pour that I did that I thought looked like a wave. So what I did is I added these bird pictures that I have taken. So I added that to it. And this one,
How did you add them? Did you simply paint on top of it, or what
no,
did
I took a picture of the paint and then I put it in Photoshop and I imported the image to it. So they're 2 different mediums. This was one of the very first ones that I did. It was a 5x7. And this was in the fair last year. It got 3rd place. I called it Acrylic Lake. And this was in the fair last year also. So there's other things that you can use. You know, there's all kinds of things you can buy to make designs. That's what these are here. And then this is a string pour where you take string and you have the background like maybe here, and then you take the string and dunk it in a certain color, whatever color you want.
Cool.
And then you put a design on the canvas and then you pull the string and it creates this kind of effect. And then this one, I'm going to start with this one. This is, I used a PCP pipe on this. I've not been able to do it again, but and I poured the paint into the PCP pipe. I had already painted the canvas black, and then I lifted the bottom of it out, and this came down from it. Then I imported it and put this in it and called it the womb.
Ah, cool.
And then this is an acrylic pour in the background, and then I imported the other images. So there's so many different things. This was in the fair last year also. It's a small image. And then I do stencils on them. Everybody likes dogs and cats. So, and then this is just a mixture of a bunch of different stuff that I've seen.
Cool.
And you know, I got stencils and did a little dog and did a bunch of different other things. And then this is one that's hanging on my wall, the kitties and butterflies. And then sometimes I hang them in a diagonal, just because I can. And then another stencil one with fish and the palm tree. So those give you some ideas of other things that you can do other than just this. Once it dries, whatever your imagination can see, you can start doing.
So Beverly, if you were to use Photoshop and import images into that, what category of art would that end up being? Would that be in photography or?
That's what I put it in, photography, because it's a photograph of my art.
Right.
And then the whole thing is really my art. Yeah, there's so many different things that are possible. I do a lot of stuff with my my cell phone, creating art on my cell phone. That I'll show you one here. Last year that got received. This got first place in the autumn, and I did it all on my cell phone. The background is a blurred scene out of a train window, and then on my cell phone I have apps that will put the trees in and put the birds in, and then I have an app that adds the water instantly. It is just amazing. So it's really fun to do. But, you know,
what app is that?
Pardon me?
What app is that?
I used 3 different apps. The one that adds the water is called Reflect. Let's go back to here. This is Reflect right here. Then I use Distress FX. That's the least expensive one. And then you can add things together. There's another one here. These lab apps, and they have trees in them. This one has the trees in them and the birds in it, but it puts textures on it.
These are all from the Apple Store?
On the app, you get it through the app store.
App store.
Yeah, you put it in the search engine. Distress, let's see.
Search, yeah.
Oh, here it is. My eyes aren't. Distress FX. So you put that in. I have the plus, but it's $10, but I use it all the search. I use it all the time. And so this one, I think it's $2.99. This one, I already have it, so it doesn't show.
What's that one called?
Distressed FX.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll show this screen again. These are basically the apps I use, and if you're going to have the video, you'll be able to see them later. So when I add 2 images together or more, I usually use this union. And then this one, I clean up the art. This can make the pictures bigger or smaller. This one, you can put a signature. This is textures. Snapseed is free. You can get it, and it's just like Photoshop in a way. You can do all kinds of things with it. And then Reflect I'll show you a real quick. I'll use this image here. You pull it down a little bit and you hit done. Now you're going to see I'm not really the artist you thought I was.
No, no.
Oh, come on. Doesn't like my left hand. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't that amazing?
I love it. It just turns it upside down and reflects it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I've been trying to learn how to paint reflections. I'm done.
It's just absolutely amazing what you can do. So photography is really my first love, but I thought, you know, I can do something with this paint also. And when the first one I did was that wave, and I added the guy to it, and then I was able to enter it into competition also, and then the response you get from it gives you encouragement. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So
Very nice.
the imagination is amazing. So anyway, there is one other thing to show you, but it's such a mess here. I was going to show you how, this is one that we did the other day. Let's see, how to put a coating over the top of it to seal it. You need to have some gloves here. Maybe underneath this one, it's not quite so. So dirty.
Maybe put another piece of plastic down.
No, well, I could, but I'll be very careful. Can you see it? So this is what I use to put a sealer on it. You just kind of pour it down the middle. You don't want to put too much on. If you put too much on, it makes it foggy. So I'm just going to use a paper towel, but you can use a sponge. I didn't clean out my sponge and bring it, so I'll just hold this up here, and you basically just go in a circle. And it covers and then you do the edges. And you kind of look at it to make sure that that it's not sitting in puddles.
But would you do that, Beverly, if you were going to do some additional painting on that? I mean,
No, it's best not to, but I have done it and then painted over with a stencil or something.
okay.
I mean, I have done it, but it's better probably if you don't. So that's from beginning to end. And then you take the pins out, and of course, you know how to hang it and sign it and do everything else that you need to do with it. But this is from a week ago. Finished.
Wow, I like that. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, you know, happy pouring.
Question
Happy
again,
mess making.
Beverly, thank you. I'd like to, if it's okay with you, could you give us, somehow maybe give them to Ralph the actual apps that she used? I thought those were fascinating. I use apps too, but those are new ones to me, so.
Oh, okay.
Are these apps for iPhone or for what?
Mine are for an iPhone. If you have Android, you have to look. You have to search. Do you have your phone there with you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Let me do this. Do you want to take a picture?
Yeah, right. Okay, just hold that nice and tight right there. Got it. Okay.
All right. Now here's another one.
Oh, hold still.
How come I can't see them?
Who just talked?
Did you get it?
Got it.
Hold on,
Okay.
because I couldn't see them. Only,
It's the Skylab is the bottom one. I kind of use that one.
I can see it.
Silent.
Did you get it?
yes.
I got a picture.
Should I have the other one again?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
May I have another, please?
And if that
Thank you
doesn't
so
work,
much.
if that
Taking
doesn't work,
screenshots
I'll,
with my iPad. Thank you.
I'll take a
Screenshot too,
picture.
but they're still a little bit fuzzy, but
Well, I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to Ralph. And he
Oh,
can,
good.
and he
Oh,
can
that's
send them
perfect.
to you.
Thank
can you
you.
do that, Ralph? 'Cause I can get a picture, but some of them aren't real clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send that out to everybody.
So
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad you're excited because it's always nice to, I'd like to, if you guys do it, I'd like to see what your art looks like also.
Oh, yeah. I'm in. Doing it today.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm going to just go out and get all those acrylics out there and just cover myself and roll around in it. That's great. I love that.
And roll around, Katie.
Fabulous.
Take a picture of that and let me see it.
Yeah. This is
So,
like kindergarten. This is like I used to teach kindergarten, Beverly. And
Uh-huh.
when we brought the finger paints out and stuff, I mean, it was
Oh.
heaven.
Oh,
Ow.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great age to, it's before they get too bossy.
Right. Funny story about pour painting. My niece just took her two boys. She's got boys like, I think they're 5 and 2 years of age. She put the turquoise and white paint in a big bucket and had
Uh-huh.
the kids cover themselves in paint like that. And then she rolled them and put their little butts on this big canvas. And she made this beautiful thing for above her bed in her house. I mean, it's,
Oh,
I call
how
it baby
sweet.
butt art.
yes.
Baby butter.
Baby butt art. It was so cute. But
Or,
if,
or even, there was somebody that was painting their house down the street and, or the fence, they put a new fence up. And
Yeah.
a week later I went back and here's these white handprints, small little handprints all over it. You know, that I
Fun.
guess they've got the white paint out and yeah, it was great.
beautiful.
Well, thank you so much, Beverly.
Any more
And,
questions?
If anybody would send some money to me as a contribution to send to Beverly, I would appreciate that. Katie's already done it. Donna's already done it. I think Glory and Ben have to do it still. And,
When we send it to you, do they charge like a transfer fee?
when you're sending it, how would you be sending it?
You said PayPal, right?
They don't charge me any transfer fee when I send money to somebody. But are you a member of PayPal?
Yeah, yesterday I tried to set up and then they say, like if you send it to your account is 25 cents. If we send it, you pick it up somewhere is like $5.99.
I've never seen that in
No?
mine. For example, I purchase books on Kindle. I'm on a Kindle account with another person. And when I buy a book from there, I send them the amount of the money that I had spent on their account. And never asked me for, anything. It just says, how much money do you want to send to Joe Blow? And
Just use your number and that's it?
I guess so.
How about the others who have sent? Is it?
Anybody else have any input on PayPal?
They do take, if you're donating, like our nonprofit, they do take a small fee.
Yeah,
I
I have
don't
one of those little card reader things, but I haven't really used it, but they do take a percentage out of that.
Ben, if you want to send me a check, that would be fine.
Okay.
Mail a check?
Call you back
Have a
in the
check?
meeting.
Sure.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna end
Anyway.
this.
Beverly, you're fabulous. I love this.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
It was fun. If you
Okay.
have any
Yeah.
questions, send them to Ralph and he can ask me.
He'll ask you